So last Thursday, I auditioned with a band. Basically, we're going to start a Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute band. And it went well, and I was doing all right. Though my Stratocaster's in the shop, I was playing a Telecaster, so I was a little bummed about that. And about halfway through the performance, the drummer brought up Creed, and Lord God, I stand. And we about turned our SRV tribute band into a Creed tribute band in 30 minutes. Though that's not going to be the case, I still want to perform a blues thing, and I've been shopping. In fact, I went out to up over in Tacoma on 6th Ave. I forget the name of the place, but I did a little thrifting. Found me some nice blouses. Just a heads up, women's clothing, buttons on the other side. So make sure you give yourself some time if you're going to wear some blouses. But anyway, I wore a cool, nice, just so soft. This cotton on a hot gig is no good. So I played this hot-ass gig outside, sun blasting on me, but I had a nice frilly blouse looking like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm about to get some necklaces, some rings. That dude had rings. So somewhere between my actual cover band and the Stevie Ray Vaughan band, that's the style I'm going for. But anyway, I'm never wearing dude's clothes again in the hot sun, man. Chicks got it figured out. That nice soft fabric, the breeze will flow right through you. Anyway, it went well. We played a lot of the songs on Thursday at practice, and then Saturday I had a gig at Rubens and Ballard. Shout out to Rubens and Ballard. They paid us handsomely, and the crowd was loving it. There's some footage somewhere floating around on Facebook of a bunch of kids dancing. I didn't realize there was going to be kids dancing when I made the set list, doing songs like Feel Like Making Love and Don't Call Me Daughter, the violence, about domestic violence and stuff. But luckily the melodies are fun and none of the kids know the difference. And I just thought that was funny. A lot of the songs in rock, I can't get no satisfaction. I'm like, I didn't know my crowd was going to be the family crowd, though. Playing at a brewery, sometimes you get kids and dogs and, the pets and all that. But a lot of times breweries are just adults, so whatever. I made a classic rock adult set list. It was dope. We performed for 3 hours with Chuck Jones on drums. I played with him a few times, always coming in clutch Chuck, as we call him. And Rich Bigelow, speaking of clutch, I'd never met the guy before, saw a video of him playing a 3-second riff on bass, and I was like, he'll do. And he kept texting me all week asking about songs, so I knew he was putting in the work. But when we finally played the gig, dude, we played Interstate Love Song. He had the bass line down. For those of you that know, Stone Temple Pilots rips a gnarly bass line. And then I remember another key moment was, have you ever seen the rain? That song in the second verse, in between the two lines, it does the tag, do, 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 do. And I've played with bassists that I've rehearsed with who missed that line, and he crushed it. So dude was taking it seriously. He learned River of Deceit, which is another not hit, but I always play that song when my dad's going to show up to a gig because that's his favorite song. It's kind of like the song I play anytime my dad comes to a show. So I had my dad, my stepmom was there. They brought some friends. We had the families with the kids there. There was a good 50 people out back, and then another 200 floating in and out inside the bar at Rubens. So shout out to Rubens. Hope you guys have us back. We had a blast. Really impressed the band with just your guys' professional vibes. And then Sunday came. After the 3 hours of singing, the first time in 6 months I've done a 3-hour gig with a band. And it's hard to sing over a band. You got to not push it. And I was pushing it a little bit, but not as much as I used to. For those of you new to the channel, I used to smoke tons of weed. I was totally addicted. Yes, you can get addicted to it. I, in fact, had to go to 28 days of inpatient treatment to cut the habit. So now that I'm sober, now that my throat isn't just being attacked by smoke all the time, I can sing with a lot more longevity and a lot more clarity, a lot cleaner than usual. And I had a lot of people comment on that and how it's doing better. So anyway, I wake up Sunday, start singing at church at 8 o'clock. We rehearse from 8 to 9, then 9:30 or so, and then 9:30 to 10:30 we perform. So doing a lot of soft singing, and my voice was cutting out like this. And it was hard to get back into the groove from doing rock singing that night. Sunday morning church. Then another 3-hour gig at Oxbow in, I believe, Sumner, right across from the old cannery. And man, that was tough. The first hour was like, man, I got to get my voice back. And it came right back. In the past, it would have been a tough gig. But by the second set, in fact, I only did 2 sets. Instead of a 3-hour gig, usually do 3 sets. I did 1 set, for 2 hours, break, and then an hour set. And the first set I was grooving. I was moving and grooving, baby. I was hitting notes easily. Just drinking water and coffee, and I love my coffee. I'm a coffee addict now. Trade one thing for the next, but one thing at a time. So 3 hours on Saturday, and then a couple hours at church, and then I went to another gig, and this was just acoustic so I could sing. For those of you who don't know, singing over a band is hard, but it's also hard to hit low notes over a band. When I'm acoustic, I can sing like Folsom Prison and hit that low E. Still a little fake, but I can do it. I can hit the low E. Live, I could barely sing Blue on Black chorus low. I could barely sing Friends in Low Places live with the band. But acoustically, I was hitting all these low notes. So my dad showed up to that with his friends again, so I didn't want to do any repeats. So I did 3 more hours with no repeats. So I did my 3-hour classic rock songs, and then I did 3 hours of like country and grunge songs that were doable, and classic rock, of course, just like a mix of all the things, some blues, some jazz. But I didn't do a single repeat, so I for sure have 6 hours worth of songs that I have memorized that I can do. And I was thinking of a bunch more after the performance, so it's like 7 years of doing this professionally in the area will give you a lot of songs. So that transitions me to the next phase, which is, how much more cover material do I need to do? You know what I mean? I kind of want to start writing my own stuff, so I've been focusing on coming up with a plan, and I think that's the Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute band. I think also with those guys, shout out to Reese and Roman, I think I'm going to start writing some original music and see kind of what can happen in the blues vein, so I don't get too into like writing the music. Instead, just do a 12-bar blues, write your own lyrics, maybe change it up a little bit and just rip guitar and see what happens. Focus on that, because when I start writing songs, man, I get bummed out that my music doesn't sound any different, and it's the number one hurdle, is to keep going even when you don't like your own stuff. It's like you're not going to get any better if you just quit halfway through writing a song, which is what I do. Songwriting is a skill like anything else. You can't give up. If I would have given up every time I hit a bad note, I would not be a singer. If I would have given up every time my fingies got cut, I would not be a good guitar player. Oh yeah, my finger's healing. It's been a week today since I cut my finger, and I've been playing guitar. I don't know, I put 20 hours in since that with the Band-Aid, but I finally took the Band-Aid off and we're good to go. So that's everything I can think of. That's an update. As far as the channel goes, you'll get new reaction videos every Friday morning at 9 a.m. This week we're coming up, we got Alice in Chains Unplugged, Down in a Hole. I've heard it a million times, but I do a little analysis on it and kind of explain what I'm hearing. And it's pretty good. I filmed it today. It'll be out Friday. I'm also editing a History of Grunge video, which is tough because I use the teleprompter and I feel like you can see my eyes moving. So fair warning, that's my first teleprompter try. But it went all right. I wrote the script out, had the use of ChatGPT to help me. I don't know if I like it or not, but we'll see. Why don't you comment when the video comes out to see if you guys like the script. Maybe I should just write it myself and use silly words and bad sentence structure and incorrectical grammars. But anyway, I think it's going well. I don't know when that's going to come out, probably in August sometime. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for the reaction videos. Keep an eye out for all the content. I've got a million different ideas I'm going to try while keeping the analysis reaction videos a constant. And possibly these vlogs as well. If you guys like the vlogs, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment. Until next time, peace.